Good evening, good evening. Yeah, this is Dana, and I was wondering if you could about philosophy and those things that we don't usually hear every day. I have decided to make a project out of that, and far it's doing pretty well. We're already on page 10. Well, actually, what I'm doing with this is actually an ebook, and I'm going to release it hopefully by the hopefully by the end of the month, if I could get lucky, because it's not easy to find the works, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I will be starting with the Asian philosophy because, well, I'm Asian and it's a lot easier to get their hands with the works that are already available. So I'm going to start off with the Asian philosophers' ideas of philosophy, and I will be giving you translations on you can how can these works affect our daily life. It's a collaboration actually of different philosophers. So uh, I'm not going to put this in order because, well, it's hard to find them, and some of the works I found online, and some of the works I found on my personal stash or notes, and those are works that I've been working on since master's degree. So yeah, it's a good way to start over with our how do you say that, our day to day everyday living, and I've been working on with these things for the last 10 years. Actually, I was supposed to write something 10 years ago, but it didn't work the way as planned. So I hope you can bear with me because I'm still not done with the project. I just started recently. So let's just hope for the best because all the works that I'm working on are ancient Chinese and Southeast Asian philosophy or philosophers. And the funny part was it's exactly the same things that I've been discussing on Facebook and on with my students. My students in English. I'm using philosophy to teach my English classes because it's a lot interesting for the students to work with um, things that they know but hardly practice. And to them, it's kind of interesting to be working with the works of their own um, ancestors. It's a good thing because it teaches us how to handle business. It teaches us how to live a good life, a quiet life, and it also teaches us how not to be full of ourselves. If you know what I'm saying. A lot of people are wondering about that, but uh, well, there are things that are written in scriptures, old scriptures, that are not what do you call this? Are not being practiced in our day-to-day lives, all because of certain things that cannot be avoided. A lot of people say that the written words are easier said than done. Actually, it is, but if you say that to yourself, you're actually making it harder for you to live a good and quiet life. Because if you read something and we we people, we have this ability to turn around and say it's just a writing, or maybe it's it's hard to live by the ideas of these scholars. But to tell you the truth, every time I read a scripture, it always reminds me of something. Always reminded me how to be a person. And this is how I started being, also being a good counselor in a psychic counselor. And this is how it all started, all because of philosophy, and all because I learned the value of living. It is not as easy as it looks, but come and think of it, if we don't try it, we won't know it. That's the practice that these scholars are teaching us. If you don't try it, you wouldn't know it. So I tried some of the works, uh, practice it in my daily life the way I understand it, and that's why I've decided to return into the limelight by the use of social media. I'm starting out again, all over again, but I'm starting this time with social media. That way, the people can hear me more than the networks can own me. With this little talk that I gave you tonight, I will be working on the book, and as the title say, Asian philosophy, and translation works and translations for a better life. So we're going to start out with I'm going to start out with the Asian philosophers, and then we will go on to the rest of the world. So let's start out with this one, because it's not going to be a very easy subject. And then we will go forward to other famous writers. And I just hope that this book that I'm putting up will bring about good vibes and positive views to most of you people. And I'm also hoping that you would be able to share this good read to your family members, to your loved ones, to those people who you value the most. And as I have written this book with uh, love, through love, and understanding. The reason why I wrote the book was I'm dedicating the book towards my mom, because my mom's Chinese and she loves written words. So this one goes out to her, because it's her ancestors as well as mine. And also, I'll be dedicating it to a good friend of mine who has always been there for me. He was the one who uh, lightened up the path for me, gave me new ideas. I don't know where will I be without his uh, guidance towards me. This one is for King Air also. King Air is like he's an artist, a very good friend, a person that you can rely on, someone you can talk to, a motivational speaker, an inspiration to most people. And you can follow him on Facebook at whoiskingair.com. On YouTube, same thing, Apex Vision. And on, you think you can find it on my feature page. That's where he is at. You can also find him on Instagram, Who is King Air. And you can also find him in, where is that? Twitter. Who is King Air also in Twitter. So there. Um, that's where you can find them. Anyway, you can follow me everywhere also. I'll be on Instagram, I'll be on Twitter, I'll be on Facebook, and you can follow me everywhere as well, except for Snapchat. Snapchat is not very functional for me, but Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter has been very, very useful for me. So this is Lady Dana, and I hope that as soon as I release this book, you will be able to. Everybody gets to have a copy of it. So don't forget to support me, Lady Dana, and thank you very much for being here with me tonight. Thank you. Blessed be.